Welcome or welcome back. I need to start this with a disclaimer. In the first part of the video, I go into a rant about a certain recent event that happened with AI art. I'm calling out a certain group who used the works of a deceased artist for their research paper without contacting the family members of this artist and asking for any sort of consent. Now, this is a thing that really touched me personally and it made my blood boil, to say it lightly. So I recorded about 15 minutes trash talking about AI art. If you want to skip to get to the Let's Paint episode, I will put a time code on the screen. But for those who don't skip, about the first part of the video, there's only one thing I should have been much more specific about, and that is I personally don't want to hurt anyone just for using AI art in any form for their personal enjoyment and expression. I'm not going to lie and say that I don't have any issue with those users. I would be really dishonest if I did. I personally look at the use of current AI tools the way I look at software piracy. I think it's inherently wrong, but I do recognize that there's a flip side. The same way piracy is a good thing for media preservation, for example, I do think that AI art is an amazing thing for many people for a whole wide range of reasons, but I'm going to be extremely critical with the way some of these are built and with how some of these are used. See today's episode for reference. There is a significant part of the AI community who we labeled as AI bros sometime along the way. You know, the people I even frequently see being called out by other, reasonable AI users, who either see absolutely no issues or who are throwing around dishonest arguments and continue to pull off their exploits. So please, if you use AI art, believe me that I don't hate you. I hate people who use some of the most mind-blowing technology ever created for exploitation and personal gain. And please be critical towards the people who think they can do whatever they want. The corporations and individuals who unjustly capitalize on the works of others, or those who use them for marketing without any sort of consent, like the ones in today's story. Together, we can make this work. I do believe that everyone has the right to be creative no matter what medium they are using, including AI art. I do believe that in the future we will get better AI tools, and when I say better, what I mean is stuff like what NVIDIA Canvas was trying to be, tools that let you make all your creative decisions instead of making these machines do all those by directly using the creative decisions of millions of creators who came before. As I was writing this script, I looked around and I want to mention these two channels. The first showcasing a stable diffusion plugin for Photoshop, and the second is showing Invoke AI, which is like stable diffusion if it wasn't made for aliens, being used as a part of a 2D workflow, and there's a video about using 3D models as a base. Like, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about here, only not with stable diffusion, at least not with the current version, which contains data from absolutely every image they managed to indiscriminately collect. Because if you say that there is no ethical issue with using someone's work in an AI model without consent, I respectfully disagree, and I'm not interested in those 99 red herring arguments I've heard over and over again. Tell me the 100th if you think that that one has anything to do with reality. Now, with that being said, let's listen to my past self go into a rage. Back again. I know we didn't know each other, but you're on my mind most weeks of my life. I hope you're at peace and painting all you can in that beautiful glowing gold. Every time I come back here, I can't stop myself from crying. Love you so much. 3 years have passed and I'm still a fan of your artwork. 3 years without your art, I like to think that the stars that shine the brightest were painted by you. And many heart emojis, and I'm not even going to show you the latest post announcing her death, because I just showed you, which happened on February 8, 2020, so a little more than 3 years ago. I'm talking about Qinni art. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. I'm going to say Qinni because it feels right to say it that way. And if you look through her profile, you click on any of these pictures, you are going to see people who to this day come back to leave comments. I was about to go and wash my hair, but I saw something shared on a Discord server that I really wanted to talk about. I saw this Twitter post being shared. It was made by Qinni's sibling. I know that she had a brother. I'm not sure if this person is the same person. So another example of our favorite topic these days. There's this research paper where they are showing off their amazing, you would die for this quality AI model, where they put in Qinni's artwork and it shits out this absolute abomination of a picture. And look at it, it's much better than this other AI shit. Our shit is the shiniest. It has the least amount of maggots and blood in it. Therefore, it's a really great AI model. Really big congratulations to ourselves. We are the kings of creation. As I said, I wanted to go and wash my hair, but I didn't want to wait too much, because if I calm down, then I'm going to be censoring myself, and I don't really want that. All I want to say at this point that when I will start comparing AI art to ritualistic cannibalism, AI bros are going to get mad at me, saying how can I say such things, and that I'm stupid, that I don't understand how the models work. All you have to do is get someone's life's work, and here's our really great AI model that is thinking like a person, and we should treat this model like a person actually, and it should have just as many rights to study art and make any artistic expression like this corgi here. And this is the most awesome thing, and if you think that there is anything wrong with that, you're a fucking idiot, and I don't know, many things. I know that if an AI bro is going to see this video and hear me talk about this, they will want to say some certain things to me along these lines. Believe me that I would like to say many things to them as well, but I don't feel like getting my channel terminated right now, so I'm going to keep the thoughts to myself. I know the same thing happened with the NFTs. You know, first the NFTs and the crypto, and now the AI art. And there is this group that I only call the human locust swarm, that is always flying towards the next giant tech thingy, and you know, they go and decide that okay, it is our divine right to eat this all up and shit out something, and then after we are long gone to some other part, some other thing that we can now exploit, then the people at the thing that we just ate are going to be cleaning up our shit, but that's their problem. They should have joined the swarm at this point. There's no other way. And all I want to say is that there will be AI bros who would say that when I'm saying that I will be against the AI art and against this whole absolutely inhuman community and all their business practices and all the stuff that they stand for, they will be saying that I'm fighting the ocean. And you know what? I'm going to say that I am proud that I will be able to fight it till the day I die. Okay, I'm starting to calm down. If you don't know how it works, I suggest just look through them. I'm pretty sure that they are uploaded to many other places. I will look through, and if I find some like proper gallery of her works, then I'm going to leave a link in the description. Just look through some of these, and you will see why people appreciated her work so much, and you will understand why these guys said that okay, this is going to be the perfect food for our new machine to feed. You know, everyone is throwing around the two red herring arguments that the people making models start saying, don't blame us, blame the end user, and the end user is saying, don't blame the player, blame the game. And I'm going to say, I'm going to blame both of you for doing this. I have absolutely no respect and compassion for you, and I won't stop spitting at your face. That's it. This was the last drop for me. If you want to show respect to Qinni or any other artist, living or passed away, go and check out their works, support them with words, support them with shares, support them with kindness, support their families if they passed away. Just go and look through all these works and enjoy them. And if you see someone else who is living, whose works make you feel something, either the way Qinni's works make you feel or in any other way, go and show some support, because most people don't get nearly enough. I say that the best thing that the AI art did, at least for me, is that it made me properly appreciate every single person who makes art. Doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter what they do. If you are, I don't know, making your very first doodle on your smartphone with your fingers, you are amazing, and please never give up, because even if you don't know what you're doing at the moment, even if you don't have the skills showcased either here or under other people's names, what you're doing, in my opinion, is the most beautiful thing in the world, and I cannot wait to see what you create. Now what I'm gonna do is I will do the thing that I do. I'm going to create some artwork featuring Qinni in, see, I'm pronouncing her name differently every time. I'm going to make some work that features her. I still have no idea what I want to make. All I know is that now I want to go and wash my hair, because it's like not even talk about it, and then I will come up with something, and that is going to be the main part of this video, because I don't want to just upload myself screaming to the microphone for 5 minutes straight. So that's it. I will meet you soon, and it's going to be like 1 second for you. And before, one more word before people are gonna be screaming at me, then what is my solution to such problems? My solution is really easy. If you want to use someone's works in any way, you want to feed it to any sort of machine learning algorithm, go and ask this person, or if they are fucking dead, then go to their family and ask their family if it's okay. Especially if you are claiming to be some research paper like this thing. You are saying that I'm supposed to take you seriously, and this is the thing that you give to me. Well, let's just say that I already had issues with taking you seriously, but now it's even harder for me. And the other thing that I wanted to say, and now I'll really leave and wash my hair, is that I cannot wait for the day when you will grab these pictures and you will put them into your AI model, and you will say that, hey, give me a picture of a corgi. And the AI is going to ask you, listen here, my little friend, what do you think of yourself? I cannot wait for the day when that happens, and you will be sitting there and blinking, and you're going to be asking yourself the question, what did I do wrong? Okay, I'm done washing my hair. Just I have to wait for a few minutes until the steam disappears from our bathroom. Otherwise, you know, it's like not even drying. It's so humid in there. I also forgot to cut off my neck beard, so you will have to witness this thing for the rest of the video. I wanted to share a few more thoughts before I jump into creating this painting. Now, AI bros, pay attention, because now I'm about to do something really evil, and I will do a performance in order to guilt shame people into submitting themselves to my my bigoted, gatekeeper, ableist, Luddite, communist, conservative agenda, ideology, thingy, you know, the thing that I get from the fearmongers. And I'm doing this all because I am a mentally ill, oblivious, lunatic, virtue signaling incel. And I'm also a hypocrite because I'm going to be making an artwork that is not simply objectively worse than anything an AI would produce, but I'm a hypocrite because I will be doing the exact same way as the AI by getting inspired. Inspired same way the AI does, and also I will create a derivative or transformative work that is also exactly how the AI is working. Of course, we all know that, and the only exception is going to be that my work is going to be even less original than the AI, because the AI is programmed to always make something new, and I'm just a human bag of organs, and I'm always going to repeat myself, and I'm always going to copy other artists who I've seen in my lifetime. What else? I'm also a murderer for being against AI as a whole, because it will save lives in the future, and I'm also intentionally provoking the AI crowd to leave me hate comments under this video, because I'm expecting to get a little boost in the algorithm, and hoping that my channel is going to be lifted up from obscurity. Also, now that we are talking about all sorts of pseudoscientific nonsense, I am summoning Rocco's Basilisk. Ha! Nothing happened. Who would have thought? If you feel that I left out something important, then please leave a comment. This is going to sound cringe, but I'm an emotional human. I'm going to say that if Qinni was here, she would want me to stop all this trash talk and do some art instead, so I won't say a single word about AI for the rest of the video. And after I dry my hair, let's go and do some art. As you can see, I can't. Okay, that was a really bad joke. I'm keeping it in. Of course I do. Now, okay, change of plan. It's actually the next day. After the previous recording, I felt that I was about to have a migraine attack, so I didn't dare to really get into this project. Now, my idea for the environment, I will make a sketch right away and show you what I had in mind, but for the environment I want to first show these pictures. So Qinni always had this celestial motif, that there are these nebulas and stars and all sorts of colorful elements of space on her pictures, and I decided that the best thing to implement here are the pillars of creation. For those who don't know what these are, this formation is located in the Eagle Nebula that you can see here from a further distance. These pillars are made of gases and stardust, which is material from dead stars, and they are forming new ones inside. And this sounded like a fitting metaphor for people creating more pictures after Qinni's passing. And what I want to do is somehow implement these formations into the hair of the character. I'm not sure if that's going to work well or not, so I'm going to sketch out my idea and I'm gonna show you what I had in mind. After making a rough background, I use my current workflow, as returning viewers might recognize. I start with a rough sketch of everything in the picture. This could be the point when I just simply make nothing but the line art, except I go ahead and make a rough version of everything that will be added. So I don't only sketch out the lines, but I pretty much make a very low fidelity version of the entire picture. I should actually do this more, make different versions, but I just didn't feel putting in that amount of energy into this particular project. It would be really different if it was multiple characters in a complex scene, but this is just one single portrait. So I continued with the only version that I really liked from the beginning, so I was quite confident. So what was my main idea for this picture? So this is Qinni, and obviously she has the scar on her chest, and she's holding her heart that is going to be made out of porcelain or something other material. But the point is that the heart is broken, like it's made out of little pieces now that she's holding in her hand, and she's holding up one piece and says it's a little broken, but at least now I can give you a small piece. And I feel that this really gives off the whole point of her art. I feel like that the way she showed her struggle and the way she managed to turn all her pain into some beautiful images to motivate and to comfort others. That is the reason why people loved her so much. Obviously this text is going to be hand painted. This is just a placeholder for now. I want something similar, not these super swirly letters like this handwritten text. And obviously I made a demo coloring. I wouldn't generally do this. I still haven't organized my layers. It looks like this now. It's a little bit chaotic. I'm going to name every layer the way I always do when I don't forget. First, I'm going to make a proper sketch, so I'm going to turn this into something much more refined. I'm not sure how the bottom part is going to go. I was thinking about fading her into the nebula in some way. Maybe I will add some extra stardust here, so she's like inside this nebula now. And you know, I'm pretty sure that some people will say that this picture is a little morbid, that she's holding her own broken heart. But what I want to do with this is combine her own ideas of turning her broken body into an artwork. I want to give this little bit more morbid version of myself in order to make this picture the way I feel is going to be the best. So I want to show the scar and the heart in her hand by all means. I hope that people who are going to look at it are not going to feel bad because of the body horror that I'm representing here, but they are going to get the message from this picture, which is pretty much the message of her entire legacy. But now enough talk, because this is what we have so far. I'm going to go on an exercise break and then I will come back to this. It's 1:30 in the morning and there's no one in the staircase at these hours, and that's when I'm doing my stair climbing exercises. So I'm going to be back and we're going to continue working on Qinni's portrait. Hey, I'm back. I wanted to share a little side note in the middle of this thingy. I'm pretty sure that some of you are familiar with the feeling when you modify one of your brushes and it's like working almost identically, but it's like all of a sudden just an amazing thing. I just wanted to show you this. So I've been using this brush, which is actually the modified version of the basic round brush. I've been using it mostly with this tip, one of the default ones. And this is like one of the main brushes I'm using nowadays. There's another tip right next to it, this more textured tip. And this is what I use generally when I paint clothing. So there will be this little fabric looking texture when you just work on it, and it's like a completely unintentional effect that is always getting created when you work on something like this. And I just tried out what it would be like if I switched it to this what is it called, circle hard eroded tip. And it's like so amazing. Like, this feeling, right? When there's this tool that from the top of your head because you've been using it for like 100 hours or something, and then you modify something that makes it work a little tiny differently, and all of a sudden it feels like I don't know, opening a new floodgate for your process or something. Maybe it's just the feeling that it's something newer. I've been using this all through the picture and it feels amazing, this one. And that's it. That's just a little side note I wanted to share. Now, also I named all my layers. Oops. I think I should sometimes show it to you. There's the base color. There are details, some other details. This is just the hair. I keep it in one layer, and you can lock alpha and make all these nice color transitions. I'm still not sure what the actual color of the hair is going to be. Just the shadow layers, the light layers. Anything interesting? I added this ambient light layer which is just one big layer on multiply mode. It has a gradient, like I used the gradient tool after selecting the character. What else? And I erased some of this part around the heart, so it's like appears brighter. Extra shininess effect. I'm really not sure about these light rays. Like maybe the heart should just be this broken thing that doesn't emit any light at all. I want her to move her hand a little bit forward, forearm to be at like an angle. I want her to reach towards the camera, and now it's time to make this sketch properly. Let's go. Now at this point, remember what I said about building up the entire picture before. I duplicated the group that contained all the layers of the character and started with a line art, and I modified all of the layers one by one. It was one of my first attempts doing this exact way, but I'm sure that I'll continue this method in the future. If you do this, you will almost see the final version of the image, and if you decide that you want to change something, change some big parts like the pose itself or the entire lighting of the scene, then you literally just spend a few minutes laying out what you have, instead of sitting there and thinking whether or not you should completely change the finished parts of the project. I just realized that I mirrored this hand. That is supposed to be a pinky finger, and I cannot hold my hand properly there, but it should be on the other side. The thumb should be in here, because if you're holding the hand like this, your thumb is on the outer side when your palm is facing upwards. When did I mess that up? I messed that up when I took the reference photo, right? Yes, I did, because let me where is it? I have these reference photos. I didn't really follow them that well. I was holding my right hand there, and this is a left hand, so I just completely mirrored this one. That hand is okay. The only reason I noticed that is because I was measuring the length of these fingers, that this finger, wondering if this finger is an okay length for a pointing finger, but then I realized that no, that is supposed to be the ring finger and this is supposed to be the thumb. I actually did the same like in the very last picture I was making on the Angelina Johnson picture. Things happen, so that's it. And I even this is bad. I even removed my glove when I took the second photo for this, because I left it on while taking this one and I didn't properly see this part of my hand, but I was like, that's gonna be good, I don't want to take this photo once again. I don't know, come up with how things are going there. And then I did the same, and I remembered to remove the glove, and I didn't even realize that I was using the same hand. So that was a nice little accident, so let's go and fix that. I just want to casually mention that this was almost my third time in a row accidentally mirroring someone's hand. I actually did this with a foot of a bear on my very first commission ever, and I only realized later. It is still haunting me to this day. Surgery went way smoother than I expected, and the heart is turning out okay. I want it to be like really shiny. Your brain is immediately going to connect that shiny piece in her hand, and not by just the color of it, but you will also see that it is made out of a really important material. It's made out of a material that doesn't appear anywhere else in the picture. That's what I was trying to achieve with saying such words. Speak English very good. I've been making a few mistakes. The biggest one is the trap that I'm still falling into, is that I'm not doing enough with the layers. I'm just mindlessly going into the rendering stage. It is like, this habit that I built up through multiple years, and it's just happening automatically. Like, I'm trying to break this whole cycle, and I'm feeling that I'm getting better in it. Like, I'm doing more and more with the sketch, doing more and more with the layers. I'm still not fully in the habit of utilizing them to the extent they should be utilized. This costed me some time, like I'm about 5 hours something in this painting, and maybe I could have been finished if I wasn't recording it for an episode, or if I wasn't going into this with the mindset that I had, you know, when I was really angry when I started this picture. It just didn't go well with my productivity. Not productivity, what is the name for that? Effectiveness? Is that the word that you're using for that? Effectiveness, for my, yep, my efficiency? I don't remember. I know English very not good. The other thing is that I took a little break just now, and when I came back, the very first thing that immediately jumped up for me is the eyes. They are getting really uncanny, and I want to resize them because the eyes were pretty disproportionate. I have this other habit that I'm not really planning to break because it comes handy many times, is that I always make the facial features a little bit bigger than how big they should be, because if your eye or your nose or something is a little bit bigger on the picture than it should be, that still kind of feels like a stylistic choice and it's not going to look weird. But if you make the eyes like this small, and that is the thing that you can, and that is the thing that you have to then scale up, then that's a much harder thing. You know, there's this old saying that you can put salt into your food 10 times in a row, but you cannot take it out not even once. And this is kind of the same situation. You can downscale your facial features 10 times in a row, but if you want to upscale them once, then it might be an issue, because you know, when you upscale something, then it's going to lose visual information, and you have to pretty much rework this whole thing if you wanted an eye that is this big. See, uncanny, okay-ish, uncanny, okay-ish, uncanny. You get the point. So now let's continue before I keep on talking for half an hour. Now, after all those mistakes being corrected, let's look at a much less painful part of the picture, something quite different. Generally, when I make letters, I fall into another trap where I will say that, I could make it properly, or I could just freehand it and eyeball it and it's gonna be fine. But guess what happens most of the time? Half of the letters are misaligned and they are not right size and all of that. I'm going to use the smudger to just make a few of these swish shapes somewhere, as if these were like little comets going all around. I'll just go and figure out how it's going to work. I'm a little afraid because of just the length of this text. Like, it's not that easy to just... I'm mostly comfortable with less letters and more details than less details and more letters, but now we will give it a go and see how it goes. Lettering time. By the way, I have no idea how I came up with this text. I was just thinking about making a picture of her holding a broken heart and saying something nice about it being broken. Then I realized it could be a more meaningful part with her giving away pieces of it, and that idea just felt so touching, I went with it. Bad news, I forgot to press record on the built-in recording while doing the text, but good news, Open Broadcaster recorded it. Okay, so this is about how it turned out. This letter is strange, but at least this maybe... Yes, that there is like an age. This one. Okay, so the B's need to be fixed, and the E's that have this swirly tail. Those look a little strange and they are harder to read, but the rest is okay. I didn't write in cursive since 2016 or something, more than a sentence, but overall, progress is great. After all of those, I only needed to finalize the picture. It means more rendering, making the face exactly look the way I wanted, which overall doesn't resemble Qinni as much as it could have. but I felt that the expression and the overall quality of the version I ended up with was better than trying to disturb all of that in order to just make a few steps towards a more direct portrait. I know that many people make portraits that are based on one single photo of a person, but I personally really dislike that method. If I didn't want to invent my own pose of the head, I would just make photo manipulations instead of trying to copy the exact face in the exact same angle while painting the rest of the picture around it. It means that my paintings resemble the people less, mostly because I'm still not entirely capable of transferring someone's likeness into a different pose, but I'm working on that skill as well. For the nebula and the whole star field, I used a lot of scattering brushes. I was thinking about hand painting some of those five-legged stars that Qinni always painted, but I didn't want them to be distracting from the other surreal object, the heart in her hand. Story time. When I was in high school, in order to graduate, they made us buy this seriously, ridiculously overpriced piece of fabric, because looks before substances, I guess. And ever since I was joking about it, that I will only wear it for weddings and funerals, and now I just happen to randomly have an opportunity to wear it, so I thought, don't let it go to waste. So I'm going to evaluate the picture fully dressed up for the occasion. Now all of a sudden I have no idea what I wanted to say. First of all, there are some issues. I feel like I end all my pictures with this. There are some issues, but I overall feel that I managed to achieve what I wanted to show here. I really hope that maybe one or two people who knew Qinni's works and remembers her fondly is going to find a moment of how should I end this sentence? I hope those people are going to have a moment of good memories resurfacing after looking at my portrait of her, and I hope that I managed to capture the message of her whole legacy, and I hope that you enjoyed this little Frankenstein video where I started with venting about AI stuff. I promise that I won't talk about it more in the video, but then I feel that I managed to make a picture of her that is worthy. Now my videos are always kind of strange, and I don't really, care about certain conventional things, so here's what we are going to do. I have no idea how to say this in English, unfortunately, so I'm just going to guess. Let's honor Qinni's memory with a minute of silence. And I thank you very much for watching, and as always, have a nice day, do some art, and don't forget to have fun while doing that. Farewell.